Welcome to Hashtag with Nabuguzi Kiwanuka. This is the place where we help you unravel social constructs, discuss self-development in line with mental health, and everything in between that directly or indirectly affects us in the millennial world around us. If you're hearing my voice for the first time and are the kind of person who is not scared of being a better version of yourself, even if it requires you to contradict who you were 24 hours ago, consider this your virtual home. I am your host, Nabuguzi Kiwanuka, a lawyer, founder, team lead of Equate Foundation, an addict and lover of insightful conversations, and a professional unraveler of social constructs. With me on set is the woman ready to achieve life's goodness and blessings against all odds, Jerisha Namulondo, commonly known as Jerisha Skylar, started her entrepreneurial journey at the age of 19, and on this episode she shares a snippet of her life. She is the proprietor of Jerisha events and a lot more that you will get to hear in the conversations. I cannot wait for you to pick some gems from what she shares, so let's get into it. Jerisha Skylar. I know that name Skylar for Bad Black's boyfriend.
Oh God.
Ex, I think.
Skylanta.
Oh, Skylanta.
No, that's
Skylanta. So tell us about who Jerisha Skylar is.
Okay, so my name is Jerisha Namulondo Rehema.
Okay.
I'm 30.
Oh yeah.
And I'm a Msoga from Ginger.
Right. Is that all that defines you?
I love doing life.
You love doing life.
I love myself. I love my mother so much. I was raised by a single mom, so she's my whole world.
Yeah.
So the reason I do most of the things I do is because of her. So basically,
when you talk about how the things that you do are because of her, where is it from a place of appreciation? Is it from a place of feeling like I shouldn't disappoint this woman?
I think most times it's I don't want to disappoint her at any point, because we were 9 kids. We lost one. We were 8 actually growing up, and her being a single mom of 8 from different, it was really hard for her. It was very hard. I watched her hustle. Hustling is not a good word to use for a Christian anyway. But I watched her do different businesses to see that I'm having a good life. And it was really hard on her. So each time I wake up in the morning and I'm like, okay, I'm doing events, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, it's because I want to be able to give her the life that she deserves, because I realized she sacrificed a lot just to give me what I have today.
Right.
I don't want to disappoint her. I want her to see me. I keep telling her, I want you to see me on TV one day or a billboard and say, that's my girl. Yeah, I know she'll be like, oh, your man, So I do everything that I do just to not disappoint her, and I want her to be proud of me.
Right. I've seen you in events like you talked about them. I've seen you doing events. There is something, I don't know if it had a name at that time. You were doing paper cuts, designing stuff. I don't know how many years, I don't know how long back that could have been. And then you have a platter as well. Before we get into the business ideas that you have or keep manifesting for us, what is that thing that you wanted to do while growing up?
I really wanted to be a lawyer.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. The reason
I wanted to be a lawyer is because I call myself a victim of abuse. Like 4 times survivor. And I used to tell my mom, when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer so that I fight for those girls who get assaulted and everyone cover it up under the carpet. So she said, you can do it. Unfortunately, I didn't.
Why? Why is that?
Because I couldn't afford it. I just, after my senior 6, my mom didn't have money for me to go to campus. And I myself, however much I was working here and there, making ends meet, I couldn't afford campus. So my whole mind switched to business. And once it happened, I said, I don't want to go back to school.
Man, when you make money, you don't have time to sit down and start looking at someone talking about stuff.
Because I'm like, imagine I'm seated here and someone is out there looking for me to provide this for this
and you're reading for an exam.
I said, no, maybe that's not for me. And I thank God that he gave me the grace to accept it.
Oh yeah.
And also to understand that he calls the unqualified. So it gave me peace to know that things can still go the way I wanted them to be, but maybe in God's direction.
Yeah. So is that the only thing? Is that the only thing that you ever thought about? Just being a lawyer?
Yeah, I didn't want to be anything else.
How at what age did you realize this?
I think I was around 15, 16.
And before that, you didn't have anything? You were just...
I never played with dolls. I never played any games like other kids do. Like
what were you doing as a kid?
I was working hard.
As a kid?
Yeah, like when I was young, my mom couldn't like afford to stay with all of us.
Okay.
So at one time she took me to the village to stay with an auntie of mine. And I was with her for all those years, I think around when I was 16, 17. So by the time I was there, I didn't think about anything like dolls playing and all that because I was really working. They really treated me so bad.
Oh yeah,
it's one thing I kept telling people like,
I'm sorry about that, but it does make sense.
Yeah, if I can go back and change things, I think I would pray to God to keep me alive so that we can take care of our children.
Yeah,
because I didn't have time to play. I was very busy all the time. By the time I was 6 years, I was able to carry a 20-liter jerry can. And things like that kept going. I was by 6, 7 I was able to cook a meal for a family.
So wow.
And I used to love yellow rice, but I hate it right now because each time visitors would come, my auntie would tell me to put a lot of curry in white rice. Oh, I hate that rice. Even think about it.
Wow.
So yeah, basically.
Wow. So here you are, Jerisha Events. What else? I think you're the best person to talk about the very many enterprises that you've opened, because I don't think I can keep up either. There's always something popping up.
Too much. Yeah,
there's always something popping up. So take us through, I think, Jerisha Events. Which one is the most yielding enterprise?
I think it's the Jerisha Events. Yeah, because I've done a lot with it.
How did you get there, first of all? Because here you are, there is no lawyering happening. Take us through that period before Jerisha Events.
I really didn't like... I'm not the most creative person, by the way, even if I do events, but I have a team that we do, each of us has a department they handle.
Yeah. So
how I joined events, I just woke up in the morning and I said I want quick money. I thought events is quick money, and evidently it's not. So I was like, what should I do? I said, I can decorate. And that's how it started. Then slowly, I actually got my very first bride. She was Congolese.
Yeah.
And she gave me 1.5.
How far back is this?
I think it's almost 6 years.
Okay.
Almost.
It's about 2015.
Yeah. So she gave me 1.5. To me, it was a lot of money. To me, I was like, what? But it wasn't. I didn't know about it. I just joined the business.
Yeah.
And people used to hype me then, and because they knew me on Facebook. And I worked it out. My very first wedding was a success. I played it, used some crafts that I know here and there, and it was done. When I started up alone. Then later I was like, maybe I need to team up. I'm someone who doesn't like to do things alone. I don't know why. So I talked to a friend of mine, and she was like, oh, I also love events here and there. Then we did Jesh and Jen events at first.
Okay.
We went on for some time, and then she traveled. She traveled abroad, and then I joined Events Aura with a friend called Pamela. She was like my boss because I didn't want to run it alone.
So you felt like it was better for you to be under someone or
just maybe partnering with someone. So eventually I said, no, maybe I need to be alone because it is not really easy to handle those things. Like, okay, I think I'm one person who doesn't like to be accountable sometimes. I think I'm just learning, like now, this year, that every person has to be accountable at least of sort.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I need to be solo because I want to know I have this event here. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is the team going there. We're doing this and that and this. Without me thinking about, I have to give someone this amount of money even if they haven't been there. So I said, okay, I'm registering. Then I registered Jerisha Events. I looked for a better name. I said, no, let me do it this way, Jerisha Events. And I've never looked back.
Yeah.
It has been a success. I was able to help my mom with her house.
Oh, yeah.
So now she has better shelter. Thanks to my siblings as well for helping out, but I did the biggest part and I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud of myself.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Jerisha Events, I don't think we will be here. Because growing up in a single room, all of us, 9 kids, oh my God, it was heartbreaking. Me, being the quietest child, I didn't like the space. But eventually I had to adjust. So I said, no, my mom deserves better now that she's older and all that. So she stays in her good house. It is not fancy, but it's good. Electricity, she has water, she has everything she needs in a home for now.
It's the black tax that we pay all the time.
So I'm very excited that how far the Lord has brought me with Jerisha Events.
Yeah.
And then
this decor business, what is it like? Now as you as the enterpriser in this, what is it that you feel like clients don't understand?
Prices. Someone will tell you, Jerisha,
It's just balance, man.
Jerisha, I have 50 people, for example, COVID time.
Yeah.
And then they'll tell you give them a quotation, maybe, for example, 3.5. But we always quote according to what the client wants. Because I'll ask you when, where, how many people, how many barcodes do you have, what specifics, there are so many. But someone will tell you, only 50 people and you want me to pay this much?
Yeah.
But they haven't considered the amount of time you've put in, and then the cost of production for them to have an amazing day, because a wedding is a once in a lifetime thing.
Right.
So I really want to give it the best that I can, because someone is trusting you with their wedding, the best day of their lives. So it should be something for them to remember after when they watch their videos at home.
Yeah.
So quotations. So that's why most times, I don't know if other decorators do it, I tell people, what is your budget? So when you tell me I have 100 people, my budget is 4M, for example, I'll tell you, okay, in 4 million, this is what you can get. This.
Yeah.
So it's you, the client, to decide whether you are adjusting the budget or we are going with that. I don't like chasing clients. I love money. That's why I started business early. I love money.
It's a good confession. And at least you work for it.
We all love money.
Because it's one thing for you to love it and you're just sitting back.
Yeah, I really do a lot of things.
Yeah.
I do now. I run a food business. It's online. We deliver food to offices, to people's homes, wherever you are. We deliver the food. And
which one is that?
Amara's Platter.
Amara's Platter.
We named it after our baby girl.
Yeah.
So business. I've done so many businesses. Amara's Platter.
How did Amara's Platter come into birthing?
When I was pregnant,
what could have inspired you?
I don't think I was inspired by anyone or anything. I don't love food that much, but I just told myself, as I said, I need money. What are we going to do?
Okay.
So I woke up one morning and we talked with Mr. and I was like, you know what? I think I've seen white people doing things in the names of their children and then saving up for them. So maybe if we start up Amara's Platter, we'll be able to pay for her insurance, her medical insurance, or school. We EduSave and all that. So let's start up something. And then he was like, okay, that's a good idea. What are you naming the business? I said, Amara's Platter. So you're going to do platters alone or even other things? We started with platters alone, actually. Yeah. Because that's what I wanted. Because I thought it fetches more money. I was wrong. So later we adjusted to doing single plates, like 10,000 and all that. It was really good in the beginning. Yeah. Because one thing I've learned in Uganda, we get so excited when a new business comes in.
Who gets excited? The proprietor of the business or the customers?
The customers.
Okay.
You're also excited, of course, but the customers is too excited and they'll all come in and support and all that. Then after some time, someone else will come up with something else and they will run the other side. So we are not, our customers are not usually really consistent. Let me be loyal to this person. But it's been a success in the past, because we started in December, and at this time I can say I'm proud of us, how far we've brought it. At least we have some savings. I won't mention, but it's not much. Yeah. But anyways, it has been a learning experience. That food business is not something you just jump into. Yeah. It takes a lot of not only commitment and marketing, but I would say prayers. As long as you're online.
I think isn't that all that is required in every business?
Yeah, it is, but with food business it's different. I've realized so far for all this time since we started that people prefer a dining place. It's easy for me to come, eat and go, but here I'm paying 10,000 for the food, and I'm paying 5,000 to almost 10,000 to deliver the food to where I am. So I think it's better for them to be like, let me just walk in, for example, maybe Cafe Java's or Sadie's table and maybe eat and then leave. Because they are trying to avoid the delivery costs. And however much you say, let me add that delivery cost on the food, then the price of food will look exaggerated. Yes. So it's a bit complicated, but nevertheless, we don't give up like that.
You're still there. So you have Amara's Platter, you have Jerisha events. What else is there? I saw you calling up people to something that required, I think, a private WhatsApp chat.
Yeah. So me and a friend of mine called Justin Chivumbi Chanjo, we run a WhatsApp group, a WhatsApp program, whereby we bring in business people doing different types of businesses, and teach them. It's like a content creation kind of thing. Yeah. You pay a certain amount of money. The first one was 5,000. And then we teach you what to post every day.
Every day. Every day. So is that something that you tailor for each person, or?
No, we do it in general. So you, where am I coughing?
What's choking you?
Sorry. So we post and share. So it's you to know I deal in food.
Yeah.
This is how I'm supposed to take pictures of my food because people love good presentation when it comes to food.
Yeah.
So when I'm saying please come by, actually we say don't say please.
Why? Because aren't we supposed to be polite?
But again, it's like begging kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's better to say.
What's wrong with begging?
It's not good sometimes. It depends on how the begging is coming in.
Yeah.
But we would say, for example, for food, you'd be like, you don't have to cook, but you can sit in the comfort of your home and Amara's platter will deliver. Instead of saying Bambi, buy food. You know, it's like, what is this? It's like you're making people feel bad for not buying. So in that program we teach people how to put content out there and not to make their clients feel bad about not purchasing their products. And then we teach them a lot of things. Other things are like how to position yourself, you as the owner of the business. You know, there's no way you can say, someone will call you, for example, Amara's Platter, come to maybe NSSF offices. We want to, maybe, how do they call it, bidding, something of sort, and then you go in sandals, your hair is the way it is and all that. So we basically package you so that you go out there and represent your brand, because we believe these are, of course, some like, it's my small business, but that small business takes a lot of time for it to grow. So like any other baby, a business is your baby. So as you watch it grow, you have to make sure you're giving it a balanced diet.
So
So when you're posting it, for example, on Mama Tendo, you're posting it also on Super Mama, or you're posting it on my Fabulous Beautiful Homes. You don't just say, I've seen people who just throw businesses in marketing groups and then you get like 50 notifications, the same person and the same message in different places. We teach you to not market yourself like that. So it's basically,
so it's more about learning how to tailor your information based on the group,
based on what you do, basically. And then also consistency, because the business needs consistency. We teach you not to give up, because so many times COVID has changed a lot of things. People, like the financial situation in the country, people are now saving up for their families, not their businesses anymore. They're now keeping their money. Like some tell me, we are saving for the third wave.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, hi, this is Jerisha Amara's Platter. Would you like to order for lunch? Like, there's a third wave. We are saving.
I know.
So they're saving up for the future. Now business is very hard, but we don't give up. And then I used to also do paper flowers. That is
those are the ones that I saw in the beginning.
People keep calling me like, Jerisha, I need paper flowers, but I'm like, no, I don't do them, because Ugandans, I think, failed to love them. Or to adjust, like, okay, I can do paper flowers and beautify my space. And another thing, because we have a lot of dust on our roads and in our homes, it is hard for paper flowers to stay on your wall for too long, because in a period of like 3 months they will be all dusty.
Can't you dust them? It's just paper.
It's just paper, but it doesn't look good after dusting them like that, unless if you have a blower, which is very maybe expensive for people to afford. If you have a blower, it's easy to keep blowing them. But again, if you do it the wrong way, it might fall off the wall because it's hot. And then we use hot glue to stick them to the wall. So I said, okay, maybe this is not something I want to do for a very long time. Maybe I can do it for my leisure, for my house. And I said, okay, let me put this on a pause. because before actually paper flowers, I was doing bottle paintings. I would get wine bottles, clean them up, and then spray them and sell them on Facebook. Still, people didn't understand them, but I took my time. I would even say, okay, you know what? Let me add in more art.
Yeah.
I'll get that big, I don't know how they call it, maybe compressor from the garage. I hire it and spread them from home and all that. It still didn't yield anything. So I said, okay, let me focus on at least Jerisha events. Like it stays there, because at least one time or in future I want to be like Pick Coconut or Eye Candy, and at the same time I want someone to tell me, because we saw Jerisha doing all these things, we were inspired to start something.
Because I saw Jerisha do all these things, I was inspired. So in all these ventures, in all these enterprises that you have ventured in, what is that one thing? It may not be one. What is that particular lesson that you've drawn from them?
The customer is always your boss.
Okay. How is that? I think some people are really much against that. So help us understand what the customer being the boss.
Because yes, I might be the main person who brought this thing. For example, maybe Amara's platter.
Yeah.
But without a customer, I'm not in business.
Right.
So many times I really meet very rude clients who tell me, oh, actually, some people actually judge me because of the way I look, and they'd be like, oh, young girl, how? I met a client who was like, how old are you? I said, by then I think I was 28. Said, but you look 10.
Wow.
Like, no, it's just the face. Then one even told me, I can't book you because you didn't come in a car. I want to meet a client for decor.
Wow.
And I went to a very big hotel. And then the client was like, I approached them because they told me, oh, I'm dressed like this, I'm seated here. I said, okay. I went to it and I'm like, hi, my name is Jerisha. And I sat down and it's like, are you the one I saw coming off a border? I said, yes. Said, how am I supposed to trust you with my event, my wedding? You don't even drive.
Wow.
I was offended.
Wow.
But
well, I come on a board as well to record this. Wow.
I was like,
people do that?
Mm-hmm. Especially in our business. I'll say on my side, they've ever done that not once or twice.
Whoa.
So
you've lost out on business because you don't drive.
Mm-hmm. So, but I'm going to buy a car.
Amen. Amen.
I believe
manifestation.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, yeah, I'm the one. It's like, oh, okay. She said a lot, and I was like, oh, okay, I understand. She was really rude. But I said, it's okay. Thank you so much for business. I really appreciate, of course, for considering even talking to me. But I put in my transport. That still hurts.
I know.
So I left. But I think because of the way I talked to her, she sent me another client after like 6 months. And then she called me, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm the one who told you, remember when we met? And I'm like, oh yeah, I did. She was like, I sent my cousin, she has a wedding, and God is good, she booked, and I did the wedding and it was nice. Then she was like, oh, I regret the way I treated you last time and all that. So a customer is always your boss. Like, regardless of how bad a customer treats you, even if they don't purchase, I keep telling people, even if you're just consulting, it's okay. Even if you're not, in your heart you're not booking me, come and ask me anything. Because I know one time you'll send me a client, or maybe your children will support my business, even if I'm not in the business anymore, but it's as long as it's there. And it has worked for me.
Wow.
Me, a customer is always the boss.
Wow.
Of course, certain things you don't tolerate them. Is that the word?
Like which things are those that you don't tolerate?
Like, for example, when you meet a male client and they're a bit disrespectful in a funny way, be like, okay, you know
it's not
what?
actually funny.
I'm sorry, we can't do business. And you say it respectfully, and then you walk out.
Right.
So they're not always right, but they're the bosses.
They're the bosses. Like, you need to stand up to your boss sometimes. So I'm looking at your history. You talked about where you came from, why you do the things that you do. The platform, I'm sure you've listened to a couple of episodes.
Yes.
And you've noticed that the most common subject on the podcast goes around mental health. And with everything that has been going on in your life, coming from your mother, and then how you were very busy as a child, you didn't even have time to play, which is, oh my goodness. I can't even believe that.
I miss being a baby, I think.
Please be now. You are allowed. Please
I'm a
be
mother.
That baby needs to also.
I keep telling myself, my child, of course she has her own dreams, she will have them.
Yeah.
But I want her to have whatever I didn't have, and then do what I didn't do, as long as it doesn't make her uncomfortable. Of course, I'm not going to wake up and tell my child to be a boy. But I want her to do everything that I missed out. So I'm waiting for that time.
Right.
And I promise, as long as God is there, I'm going to make sure she has everything she needs as a child, so she doesn't do childish things when she's 20
at a later stage,
just because she missed out on something.
Yeah. So with all that you've experienced and shared with us, can you paint for us a picture of the mental health in that moment, coming out from these, and then you pick yourself up, and then you build your mothers, and I even saw how you were smiling when it was really victorious. It must have been a victorious moment for you. What was going on in your mind or your mental world in those different moments?
It was crazy. It has really been crazy. Like, so many times I would think, I just want to go to bed and not wake up. So many times, and actually I would tell my mother sometimes, you know what, I just want to go to sleep and not be able to wake up, because it's too much. Because I started handling big responsibilities when I was really young, taking care of my mom
till Jerica at the age of 6.
Yeah, and then taking care of my mom because our fathers weren't there. It has been really hard. And then my other siblings also, things have been really tight. So so many times I think, I don't know what I used to do to heal each time I was going back into thinking of suicide. I think talking about it helped a lot.
Talking about it?
I talk too much, maybe. So I would text someone and I'm like, I can type like before you respond. I keep telling people, if you want to insult me, don't text me, because you won't say a word. By the time you're on, hi Jerisha, I'm like,
why would someone start with a hi when they've come to insult you?
Some do. They're trying to
be nice.
At the same time, I'll be nice, and then
you have to be polite while doing the insulting, right?
But I think it has been good, honestly, because so many times, not once, I even tried to take my life using pills. So many times. But the very, very last time was when I woke up when my mom was there. I think that was a turning point.
You were in hospital?
Yeah, that was a turning point. And she kept telling me, please don't die. Mommy still loves you. We might be broke and all that, but I just want to see my children growing up. Don't do this.
How far back could it have been?
It's been long. I think I was around 18, 19.
18?
Yeah,
19.
around.
That's about 12 years or 11 years ago.
Maybe.
That was early. Okay, there is no timing to this.
I started early wanting to just die after my going through the abuses and everything.
Yeah.
I think I thought life was not worth living, but I met Christ and a lot of
Was that
things
at that
changed.
age?
No, I received Christ when I was around 16, when I had just come back to town to be with my mother.
Yeah.
There's this auntie who is not related to us who took me to church in Sunday school, and that's how I knew about Christ. Then I recommitted myself to him when I was in primary 7. I'm so bad at math, I can't remember the years, but primary 7.
Well, at least you can count money.
Oh my God. If Gaston was here, he would tell me Jerisha doesn't like counting money. Like, she keeps counting it like she has never counted any before.
Yeah.
So it has been good, that's the truth. Without God, I think I would be dead, because I didn't see purpose. But then he reminded me that I'm here on this earth for a reason, and he won't leave me. So I said, okay, maybe it's time to get to know him deeper. And the more I went deeper to know about my God, the more I came up, the more I stood up.
So that was like
time.
You building a relationship with him?
Yeah.
What did it take for you to build a relationship with God?
It didn't take much, really.
It didn't?
Just being intentional.
Intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, I want to know this person. Because I grew up in a Muslim family. My dad is a Muslim.
How did I not pick that up? Yes, the Rehava name. Yes.
My biological dad is a Muslim. My foster father is a Muslim. My mom is not any of those two.
Yeah.
So I said, I actually got the Jerisha name when I went to Sunday school.
What does it have a meaning? A particular meaning?
Jerisha? I don't know. But she told me then that it means something new.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, I think I just love the sound of Jerisha.
Yeah.
And I thank God I had not sat my primary yet. So when my papers came to fill in the names and all that, I was excited. I said Jerisha, because this name, I think, birthed a new me.
Right.
Everything about me changed. Everything about my perception about things changed. So I said, okay, this is the new beginning. So the more I got to know my God, the more I said, why did I even want to die? So when my mom's house was done, I was like, so I was going to die without leaving this woman shelter? Like, how selfish was I? Yeah. And then knowing that...
Do you think it's about selfishness?
Sometimes I would think so. Yeah. But because I've been there before, I think because you just don't know what happens.
Right.
You just sit there and nothing makes sense.
Right.
And then no one understands it. Because we live in a society where we think depression, suicidal thoughts, all those mental illness things are for white people. That's what someone used to tell me. I won't mention who because she's very close.
Yeah.
Like, but those are white people diseases. You're not even sick. So one time, I think I realized it was serious when I went to hospital. I was very sick. And then my medical forms came back. I was with my mother. We went to some place. There's a hospital in Walukuva, in Ginger. Yeah. And then they wrote on my forms, depression. My mom was like, what is this?
Oh, yeah. What is this?
And by then I didn't understand.
Had you ever heard of the word?
Yes, I had, but in movies.
Oh, okay, okay. What? I have this thing from the movies. Wow.
So I was like, what is this and all that? But things later started to make sense and all. I think because of the childhood traumas that I've been through and everything, I never really accepted to heal every time from rejection.
Things kept piling up.
Yeah, things kept piling up. And then it really affected me a lot. That ever since I was a child, I was a loner. I never played. I never wanted to play with people, and I feared people so much. And that's how it has been even now I can be in my house. Of course, I'm not saying I'm depressed now.
Yeah.
I'm not depressed, I'm not stressed, but I can be in my house the entire week. And
No,
I don't go out of the
That's
the
normal.
house.
I'm that
Really?
kind of person.
Wow.
I'm actually, when I was younger, it was dangerous to a point that sometimes even the people that I've spent the whole day with at home don't know if I'm in the house, because I would lock my bedroom, stay there the whole day, come out, pick breakfast when I'm hungry, go and have it in bed, and then maybe I'll get hungry and I'm like, yeah, I think by this time lunch is ready. Get out, take the breakfast things that I had the breakfast from, the cups and everything, pick lunch, go back to bed. That was my system. But one time I was in the house and a friend had come to check on me. My cousins were outside talking. My cousin and my brother were having a conversation, and then my friend came looking for me, and then my cousin was like, I'm not sure if she's in. But she could be, but I'm not sure. I think that sort of made me realize what I'm doing is actually dangerous. That was my comfort place. Like, I don't want to be seeing you all the time. Please, I want time with myself.
Did you used to cancel programs?
There was no programs. I was in high school at that time. You're just there at home. You read your books. I wasn't even reading. I was just there in bed.
I think it got worse when I was in my senior for vacation, because I would just stay there and not say a word. Actually, where we used to rent, people would tell my mom, does that child of yours talk or smile or do anything? My mom would be like, yeah, she does when she wants. And then when I started renting when I was 19.
Whoa.
Yeah, almost 19. I was staying alone.
Whoa.
And then I would be in my house.
You've really been busy doing life. What?
I've seen it. I keep telling people I've seen it all.
Maybe not.
So
sometimes you get surprised.
So I would be in my rental the whole day, the next one, the other day, all locked up. But I would be on my phone. I even thought I had a phone addiction then. Yeah. I would be on my phone all the time, updating, and I would update after 5 minutes. I keep getting memories on Facebook of the things I used to post, and I'm like, wow, did I used to do this? I would post, I'm in hospital. When I'm on a nebulizer, I'll take a selfie. You know you're dying, but you want to take a selfie to prove something. Yeah. And then it's just crazy. But God is so faithful. I'm glad I'm not in that place anymore. Right. Sometimes it clicks back and maybe you go back that side, but not really. The way you handle
it's not as deep as then. How do you handle it? I mean, you could share what works for you and it may work for someone that is listening in.
Talking about it helps.
Talking about what exactly?
Like, for example, if you are depressed or going through something, I realized the more I kept quiet and piling things, the more I got hurt. Yeah. Like dealing with unforgiveness, dealing with comparison. I used to compare myself so much to different people. I told myself no. And then when you talk about something that's hurting, it doesn't matter, maybe to a friend or your mom. These days people don't trust people. Yeah.
we are strange human beings. We're strange.
But I would share with a friend. There's a friend called Jackie. I would share with her everything because she has experienced almost everything I went through. There is a way our lives connect. Yeah. Like whatever I've gone through during my childhood, she had been there anyway. Sorry. And each time I would talk to her, she'd be like, let's pray about it. Let's pray about it. So talking about it helps. If you don't know anyone to talk about it with, or someone close, you don't want people close to you to know.
Yeah.
Because most times when you're depressed, you don't want people close to you to know.
Right.
That was me. I don't know about others. Yeah. So I would write to a random person on Facebook.
What?
You see those people that are so famous on Facebook? Like people go to and be like, hide my identity, for example. I'll be like,
oh yeah.
I would tell them not to hide my identity or post on their timeline, but I'll be like, hi, you know what? I just want to talk to you. I'm going through this and this. Like, can you advise me? Things like that.
Wow.
Actually, there was a time that I was so depressed because of my dad, my biological dad, leaving. Yeah. And I texted Pumla. You know Pumla?
The lady of Baby Bump?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I told her, you know what? But I think that was either maybe 2019 or it was Father's Day that I sent her that message. I was so dying. I was seeing people posting things and I'm like, So talking about it helps a lot. So she told me, I'm going to post. I won't say anything and people would say something, so you can check it out. And it helped a lot. So right now I'm not dealing with certain things. And then I've learned to maybe, how do they call it? Saving. I take out what's important. Now that I'm a mother, I keep saying I need to do things that my child will look on and say, okay, maybe this is the way it should be done. Yeah. If I'm stressed because of parenting, I'll talk to a friend who is a mother, or I'll just go online and watch something that's about parenting. Or go on YouTube and watch kids pranking their parents and I laugh about it and it's done. Yeah. Or I'll just go and see cute kids or look at my baby, because my pregnancy was smooth, but during towards the time of labor it was a complicated one. Yeah. A baby NICU, this and that, labor emergencies here and there. So talking about it was therapy for me. I'm not someone who gets embarrassed to talk about something that's hurting me. Not anymore.
You know that? Oh, not anymore. Yeah. That is powerful. Yeah. Because I don't think it's easy for anyone to just grasp that and be able to do it.
Before, I would be like, what will people say about me? Like I shared about my abuse story. Worship. I'm from Worship Harvest. So by then I was in Ginger. When I think it was on our 2nd anniversary Worship Harvest Ginger, and I told people, this is what happened to me when I was still young, but this is where I am now. Yeah. And I love seeing people come to me, those who know, be like, Jerisha, I know what I'm going through, this and this. I'm like, okay. Because we all don't handle pain the same way.
We don't.
But I'll tell you what worked for me. So if it can work for you, it is okay. If it doesn't, usually I direct them to other people who might be of help. I don't like to be like I'm the problem solver of everything. No. I say, you know what? Maybe talk to this person. Me, this is too big. But personally, God. Honestly, I think I would be dead if it wasn't for my God. He has been a very, 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 very amazing father to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. So I was going to ask what it is that you might leave for our listeners. For someone that is listening to your episode, this is your episode. For someone that is listening in, what is something that you would want for them to walk away with?
Believe in your dreams. Yeah, believe in your dreams. I wanted to be a lawyer and it didn't happen, but I told myself I'll believe in it. And me, I'm a lawyer in my household now.
In your household. Okay.
If my nanny has done something and then my niece, I stay with my niece, and then my baby, I'm like, come here. You know,
you're practicing from here. Okay,
I'm practicing all in my house. Anyway, even if your dreams don't come true, I think it's always good to look at a brighter side. Be like, okay, maybe I wanted to be a lawyer and it didn't happen, but right now I'm inspiring people. Sometimes I write certain things on my timeline and people reach out in my inbox and I'm like, wow, this is how much I'm inspiring people. So maybe if I was a lawyer, I wouldn't be busy on Facebook to inspire people.
Trust me, you would. When you're cut out to do something, you're cut out to do it.
So believe in yourself. Love your parents, people. Love your parents. I keep telling people that if my dad was in the picture, I think I would be maybe a better person than sitting there regretting why he left, because it really almost affected my whole childhood, adulthood life. So if you have your parents, please love them. They're the only genuine people who will want the best for you. Even if you're raised by a single parent, love them, but still, like the Bible says, don't hate the other one. Because those people are supposed to bless you. Your entire life depends on, they are the gods on earth.
Katonda wo omuzadde Katonda wa kunsi.
So believe in yourself. When you run a business online, please market aggressively. Even if you get one comment or one like, it's okay. Sometimes I post and I get one comment, and that comment is coming from maybe my husband. Be like, and keep going.
Oh yeah, that's good.
If it's not online, it will be from my best friend. Or my sister will just come and like because she has to like it. I'm her sister. What should she do? So you just keep doing what you want to do, because honestly, it's not easy. It's not easy out here. But live your purpose. And if you haven't really found your purpose, pray about it, and trust me, God will just show you.
All right.
Yeah, because he says, I love this scripture so much. Ask and I'll give you nations. So if you
ask and I'll give you nations.
Yeah.
Okay, I just know Matthew 7:7. Ask and you'll receive. I didn't know about the nations.
What?
Is that Abraham? Who is that they're giving nations? No, Abraham is the man of nations or something like that.
You know what?
Man, you guys keep embarrassing me about the Bible on this podcast. What?
I'm going to take you through that later once this is done. But the Bible, God said somewhere, ask and I'll give you nations. So if you can say ask and I'll give you nations. What about just a business, just a spouse, maybe peace in your heart, or a family and all that? Everything we want, let your whole life depend on God.
Right.
Because the world is messed up right now.
It's a whole mess.
You will want to do a business and someone will tell you can't do it. Do it. Even if it fails, keep doing it.
Unless you tried.
Because Amara's platter, I almost gave it up. Every day I wake up and I'm like, I'm giving up, and then God told me, why did you start? You know? And then you continue doing it. So don't give up on anything. Believe in anything that you want to put your hands on. It will work eventually.
Yeah.
Because even the biggest brands we admire, they worked through losses, maybe the first years in their businesses, but right now they are yielding and thriving.
Right.
So keep going.
Thank you so much for giving us your time and sharing your experiences.
You're welcome.
Talking about it is my takeaway from this episode. Talking about it has been said to make hearts lighter. It is said that conversations change lives. So whatever weighs you down, try as much as you can to talk about it. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Hashtag with Nabuguzi Kiwanuka. If you loved what you heard, make sure you subscribe to Hashtag with Nabuguzi Kiwanuka in your podcast platform of choice and share it with your friends. They need this fresher space. Also, feel free to share what connected with you on social media, and be sure to tag us. We are at Hashtag with Nabuguzi Kiwanuka on Facebook and Instagram, and on Twitter our handle is at HTNK Podcast. HTNK is caps lock and podcast is in small case, but it's all one word. You can also reach us on our email, asiankpodcast@gmail.com. Your reviews are welcome, and I really look forward to hearing from you. Catch you in the next episode. Until then, be someone's safe space to talk about it. Ciao.